And you're back with the Powerful Communication Podcast. This is Colin Kelly. I hope life is good with you. Great example unfolding right now of what I have been calling for the last 13 years or so, scripted reality. Now, scripted reality is a television genre, so shows like Love Island, Married at First Sight, Bachelor, all those things, they're all scripted reality. I've been talking for the last 13 years about scripted reality in PR and comms, and people look at me like I'm mad. They think, how can that work? How can you do that? That's totally unethical. You can't take a reality TV genre and plug it into PR and comms. Well, yes, you can. What you do is you do something you were going to do anyway, but you make it look like there's an element of spontaneity. In fact, there is an element of spontaneity to it. You cede a little bit of control and you get a much bigger return. Now, a really nice example of this is unfolding right now. I need to tell you about this guy I know called Damian Young. He's at Damiza on Instagram. Terrific guy. So many lessons from Damian's approach and so much good value if you're remotely interested in the media, communications, AI, particularly the music industry as I am, and just the changing world that we live in. At Damiza on Instagram is somebody you need to get on your radar. And let me just explain what he's done. He starts on Instagram, I think about 3 years ago. He shows up every day making videos. Just short, snappy videos, sometimes a minute, sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes a bit longer. Sometimes he goes live. He comments on industry news. He shares his opinion. He talks about his past. He just shows up, but I mean every day, 3 or 4 times a day for 3 years. And he builds a community. He gathers a following. He's 236,000 followers. But it's highly targeted, right? Because this is a guy, he's not chasing reach. He's not trying to go viral. He's not doing outrageous stuff. He's just talking about his industry. And it could be any industry. And he's going on, he's talking about what's going on. He's talking about what's wrong with it. He's talking about how we can fix it. He builds this community of about 250,000 people. They're contributing to this discussion as well. He's very respectful of his audience. He's got a great track record. He really does know his stuff. He goes on today and he says, listen, we've been talking for a while that things need to be different. Why don't we put our money where our mouths are? Let's start something. Could we buy a radio station? Could we start a channel? Could we do something in the world of podcasting? So he starts a GoFundMe. And the target is $22,000 US. It's been live a matter of hours. And he's got 75% of that target. He's got $16,500. There's people putting in $1,000, $20, $500, $500. One guy's put in $10,000, right? And on it goes. It's only been going for a few hours. He's had 41 donations, already at 75% of the target. And you say, well, what are you going to do? $22,000. You're not going to buy a radio station for that. I guess not. When you look at somebody like Damiza, you're looking at the guy's a winner, right? He knows how the game is played. Why is he asking for only $22,000? Because he's going to smash his target, right? By the time I sit down and have my tea tonight, he will have smashed his target. So you go into GoFundMe and the algorithm's going to trigger in and it's going to show, here's this project that's had 120% of its target funded. And you're going to go, wow, this guy must be good. And you're going to look him up. And more people will give money. And he'll be on in a few days or weeks from now and he'll go, oh my God, this blew me away. You know, never in my wildest dreams did I think that we as a community could raise this. Now, I don't know the guy. I don't know his motivation or his background or how much money he has. But I'll tell you, he is smart and he knows how the game is played. So if we put him aside for a moment, smart, set the target low, smash the target. Show up every day. Just give value every day. Ask for nothing. Just show up and help people and share your opinion and share your stories and build a community, right? Be something everybody loves, freely available, and then when you've got their trust, they will move heaven and earth for you. What he's done so well is he's articulated problems in an industry and positioned not just himself, but positioned us, himself and his followers, as the solution to those problems, and then said, well, listen, I've done all this for 3 years and I'm going to do more, but if you could just support this will give us, yes, a bit of cash flow, but it also gives me evidence, because they're not 250,000 followers on Instagram. It's going to be, in a few days, $50,000 or whatever, maybe more. And that is going to unlock more doors, right? And that is so much more powerful. And like I say, I don't know him, so I'm only using this guy as an example. But say he's got 100 grand redundancy money from somewhere. I don't think he has, right? But say he did. He takes that money, buys a radio station. You're going to ignore it. It's going to be a waste. It's going to fail because there's no community around it. When he takes the $20,000 raised on GoFundMe, or whatever it ends up being, there's a ready-made community there. I wonder what this guy's going to do. We've already decided it's going to be good. And that, to me, is an example of scripted reality. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. But I'm going to let you and the community in on it, and it will have that element of spontaneity. It will be what you want it to be, not just my original vision. I'll change that a little bit. But we'll have so much more reach and awareness because I've leveraged the community. And it starts with showing up every day regularly and winning because you're smart, winning because you're consistent, and winning because you care about the community. And any of you listening to this, in any sector, in any business, with any existing money in the bank, any of us could do that. But you need to care, you need to be smart, and you need to put the graft in. Go and look him up. I tell you, he's a winner. @Damiza on Instagram.